Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
Rutherford Issues is powered by our friends at Middle Tennessee Electric. If you've recently changed your phone number or your email, be sure to update your details at mte.com. It's the best way for MTE to reach out quickly to you. If there are outage updates, changes, billing, that kind of thing that you need to know about. Well, we're going to get in the know today with what's going on with the United Way of South Central Tennessee. That's a habit I've got to break somehow. How did you break it, Ashley?
I think just the more you say it and the more you present, you just get used to it. In the beginning, it was difficult for us too, when you're used to a name that you're presenting often, and then you just get used to it. So
I'm sure you saw my brain glitch when I was thinking, okay, that's not right. Don't say it. Yeah. So Ashley Wenzel is here, the Vice President of Development and Programs, and Haley Vaughn along the way as well, Director of the Alice Programs. So good to have you both.
Thank you. Thank you for having us back.
There's no telling what we're going to talk about. You've got programs in development and Alice programs.
You just never know.
You never know. But I would think, let's see, just going on past experience, this time of the year, there's got to be some VITA news somewhere.
Yes. We are, unbelievably, we're in week 4 of VITA season. So we are already out there serving our community. VITA is our volunteer income tax and assistance preparation free service for any individual or household that's less than $84,000. We were excited to see those numbers this year, the $84,000. That threshold's a little bit up from our previous years, which just means that we get to serve more people and that more people have an opportunity to get this free tax service. And so we are, our first couple weeks were a little rough, but we knew that would happen. As you know, Brian, we went from 4 sites last year with a few pop-ups occasionally to 9 full-time sites in all 7 of our counties. So it was a little rocky, but when you're...
And a nice storm.
And an ice storm and, all the other things going on here in our wonderful state. But it's been really great. And we're doing really well as far as serving the community, so that's exciting for us.
You mentioned that 84,000 number. That's not something that you determine. It's part of this assistance that can be given, right?
Yes. So the IRS typically determines that number. They give some flexibility to the coalitions that are doing these programs and grants and whatnot, but it typically comes from the IRS, a target number. And so, like I said, I think when I first started taking over VITA, it was $79,000, and last year 80, and this year 84. And so they're seeing that, we talk all the time about our Alice folks, and that these constraints are difficult, and so they're raising that threshold a little bit, and so that's good.
You went from 4 to 9 sites. That's because of the South Central Tennessee absorbing more counties, and that has happened since the last time you did VITA.
Yes. And so for our county, so we're in every single one of our counties, and Haley will talk about how to get connected and where you can make an appointment and where all of our service locations are listed and whatnot. But for even our community, so we're still at Patterson Park. That's our primary site, have always kind of been our biggest site. So we are there, still at the Smyrna Town Hall, and the annex there in Smyrna. And what was really cool for this year is we also expanded even here in our county. So we took over the AARP site at the Technology and Engagement Center. And that was important because we were able to have more accessibility for seniors or folks that have a more difficulty getting into the building. Mm-hmm. Again, we love Patterson. We're so grateful for them, but it's not easy. The parking can sometimes be challenging, especially if it's during programming or whatnot, or camps. And then we're all the way in the back of the building. So this has been a great partnership in absorbing that AARP site at the Technology Center.
So that's over off of Old Fort, right? Or
Martin.
Martin.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes.
Minerva.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I know. I was thinking TCAT for some reason in my brain. So yeah, off Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, right behind the school there. Great facility too, by the way, and lots of technology there. So that's a great addition here to the city, it sounds like. So the city of Murfreesboro has a couple of sites for you there. Haley, this is part of a wider, I guess, net of places to go. I know, and we have a lot of folks that listen from adjacent counties, but especially over in Cannon County. I know you have a presence there too.
Yes, we do. So we have the Adams Memorial Library site in Woodbury, which is our first year having that site there. So that would probably be the most accessible for those living in Cannon County this year.
And before, they had to come here, so I guess, right? Didn't they, to Patterson, probably?
Which is okay, and that's one thing that we're trying
absolutely.
to help the messaging on, too, is a lot of people think that you have to be in our 7 counties or, live in our 7 counties, and you don't. Even if you work in a different county, we're partnered with Nashville and all the surrounding VITA sites, and so people can go to other counties, and that's one of our goals, was to make sure it was most easy and accessible for them.
Yeah, so if you live in Shelbyville and work in Murfreesboro, you can stop by in Murfreesboro before you're on your way home, or you can go to the senior center there, or if other places. So I mean, it's very much not tied to where you are or where you live necessarily.
Exactly.
Good. So how have the first few weeks gone? Who wants to talk to me about that?
Well, I'll talk about that. We're really excited about our results, actually, Brian. So we are in our week 4. So I do results every beginning of the week. So we ended week 3 with just under 1,000 tax returns, and which is pretty awesome because our total goal with our grant contract is 3,500. Our team's personal goal is 3,800. We still have 7 weeks left. And like I said, a lot of those things, we were interrupted by a storm. We were not interrupted by, but we had President's Day. And so we lost some days. But just to give some perspective, last year we had a total of 2,400 returns filed. And so we're already only in week 3 results at 1,000. And so we are trending very well. Those 2,400 results, or 2,400 tax returns that we had last year, resulted in putting $3.2 million back into our community, right back in the hands of the folks that need it. And so I can only imagine what our results are going to be when we get to share them at the end of VITA season.
Yeah, so you're almost halfway where you were last year. And I know we've got a bigger area and a lot more folks. So, I mean, your goal was, I guess it was pretty lofty, but it's still very attainable too.
Yeah.
With just the numbers there. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, Haley, what do you need to bring? How do you do this? I mean, for the person listening out there, they may be saying, this sounds fun. I can, not fun. It doesn't sound fun. Let me rephrase. It sounds like something that I could use, but sometimes people are apprehensive and they won't do something just because they don't know what it's going to be like. So kind of walk us through that, what they need and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it may not be fun, but hopefully we make it a little bit easier with the process. So our website does list all of the documents that you need to bring. And we do walk-ins, but we also do by appointment, which we do encourage. Obviously, we have expanded our sites this year, which has increased a lot of our volunteer base, and we do really great about walk-ins, but by appointment it's probably the best option, just so that we can come prepared. You can come prepared, and we can file those in a timely manner. But the quickest way and easiest way probably would be to go to our website, which is yourlocaluw.org/VITA. And that will show you all the information. You can book your appointment and see what documents to bring on there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Just yourlocaluw.org/VITA, VITA. And that's a great place to go. Last year, over $3 million, I think it was, back into the community that people, so that, I mean, that's a huge economic impact too.
Absolutely. It just puts the correct tax credits right back into the hands of the people who worked and deserve them. And they don't have to pay that $100 or $200 fee. And so they're seeing that total amount of money. And our filers are, it's not just your everyday volunteer. They do go through, especially if you're a preparer, you go through the IRS certification process. And so they're all certified. And then we have to do every preparation that goes through also gets an audit. It's something that's required by another preparer on site. And so it's a really big deal for folks to get that money back. And, one of the things that we fight all the time, and I know a lot of our local politicians are as well, is all the predatory things out there. And so it may sound good that you can get your tax money back soon or early, but often they're taking a huge chunk of that. VITA is not that. You are getting every dollar that you earned on your income tax credit and saving the fees. And that's how we're able to put that kind of money back into the hands of our community.
And sometimes people will fall for we'll give you immediately give you your tax return. You'll get your money the day that you come in. And what they're doing is they know what you're going to get back. They're paying you, but they're also taking out a fee for that service too. And, with VITA and I guess direct deposit, these can be in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Or so.
And a lot of our families need these dollars right now. You see that when we talk about Alice all the time. I mean, this is putting lights back on, food on the table. These tax returns are really important, especially for the families in those thresholds. So your local uw.org/VITA. Very easy to remember. Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, VITA. You talked about, and we've got Ashley Wenzel and Haley Vaughn with us with the United Way. You were talking about the number of volunteers. Did you have to more than double the number, or is that right about the number you had to do, or how did that work? Yeah, last year, I know I've been saying 55, but it was actually 53 volunteers last year. And then we do have staff that also does some of this,
Sure.
but there's like 3 or 4 of us. But we went from 53 volunteers to over 100 volunteers this year.
Yeah.
And they're great. Our volunteers are great. But sometimes, organizing and assisting volunteers is different than staff. And so it is a challenge, but it's great. And we're very blessed. And we spoil them. We try to take very good care of our VITA volunteers, because like I said, it's not just showing up somewhere for an hour. They're putting in hours and hours of work and doing pretty intense labor.
They're thinking, they're doing math and all that I don't want to do. So that's why we need those. Well, that's great that you have that number of volunteers, and just the growth in the program. To me, it's kind of it's blowing my mind a bit because of how much. I mean, everything seems like, well, we just doubled everything that we've been doing.
Yes.
And here all of a sudden you need that many volunteers. And so a lot goes into the training and all of that with everybody. Yeah. So hats off to the crew and the staff.
Thank you.
Great job on all that. Anything else we need to know about VITA?
I will add, we did add 211 as well this year to make appointments, maybe an easier option as well, which is new this year. But calling 211, they will connect you actually with the best location and can set up your appointment for you. So like you said, people that are living in Shelbyville but maybe traveling to Murfreesboro for work would have the option, to choose which site would be best for them and what time those sites are open, etc. So. Well,
I know at least one person rolled their eyes when I gave the website. It's like, can I just please call somebody? So there you go.
Yeah. And 211, and that's, like Haley said, it made it much easier to use our 211 platform. And I think that's a tremendous partnership because it's so easy to tell folks, literally call 211. And a lot of times 211 can link you to a closer site or a different service even. So
yeah, and just a great resource for anything you need to know, right? Yeah. 211. Mm-hmm. That's why it's there.
Exactly.
So how long will we be going here? All the way up to tax day or near tax day?
I think we shut off. I think it's April 12th.
Okay.
If I remember, there's been some going back and forth. Correct me if I'm right.
I want to say that it's close to that.
April 12th.
Well, let me look and see what day. April 12th is a Sunday.
So that that would be April 11th.
On that Saturday?
Probably our last.
Okay. Yeah. Because the 15th is that next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and we usually need a little bit of time to make sure that we've got all our transmissions in and our final number. But last year, Brian, they extended tax returns.
I was just going to think of that.
So you just never know if they're going to consider. I mean, they did consider the ice storm a state of emergency, so we don't know how that will affect it, and so that's why it's kind of a loose shut-off date. But
I wonder if that was too early on for that to be an extension, or people are still dealing with it, especially in other areas,
right.
And so who knows?
Yeah.
We'll
they'll
just
let
wait
us know
and see.
probably at the very
That's
end.
That's right. So before our time gets away, I do want to make sure we mention, and we've had a couple of stories on this already on the website, and just trying to remind folks to get signed up. I think my granddaughter maybe is just a little too young this time around, but I'm looking forward to maybe coercing them to go along and let me tag along to Storybook Breakfast here in the next few years. But that's coming up March 7th, right?
March 7th, yes. And so March 7th is our Storybook Breakfast. It's a very immersive day for little ones to come and read stories. We have all these characters there, as you know. My niece doesn't even call it Storybook Breakfast. It's Bluey Breakfast, which is fun.
Yeah, nice.
Because Bluey will be there. That's usually a pretty good draw. But it is March 7th at Overhill Elementary. We still have slots and tickets available at the 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock. I do believe the 9:30 is full, which typically is the one to fill up
So
fast.
you've got to get up a little earlier.
Got to get up there, but you can also get your tickets on Facebook or our website for that as well.
So let's see, tickets 8 o'clock. What about 11?
8 o'clock and 11.
Okay.
We still have availability.
But 9:30 sold
is
out.
full.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
And this all supports the early childhood education programs with the United Way. And if you're thinking, what is that? Imagination Library is a big part of that, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So we put the books in the homes of about 17,000 families through Imagination Library. And then we also have our Born Learning, which educates kids and parents on how to read and engage together and improve reading skills at home.
Yeah. 17,001. We've added
You
a new
just
one.
added.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you both coming in today. It's been fun.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Our friends with the United Way here, Ashley Wenzel and Haley Vaughn. United Way online, your local uw.org. And for VITA, just put /VITA, VITA. That's going to do it for the program. Brian Barrett here. And until next time, take care out there.